everybody, Boone White with the 323 Concept Furniture Restoration here. Today I'm going to be showing you 3 of the most common types of sectional connectors and how a lot of the times I've been in homes and a lot of folks have brought to my attention that they just don't know how to connect or disconnect the sectionals. So I wanted to do my part and sort of try to show the 3 most common types that there are, how to connect them, and also how to disconnect them. So without further ado, let's jump right in and show you those 3 types. All right, so the first type I'm gonna go over is what they call an alligator clip. There's a couple different variations of this, but this is probably one of the more lower end ones. It's a plastic one. They also make them in metal, which is probably a little bit better if you wanted to replace one that you've got. These plastic ones will tend to break a little bit more. If you didn't know how to get it apart and accidentally broke it, you know, this is, it's plastic, so it is what it is. You know, you could get the metal and that might last a little bit longer for you. But this is an alligator clip, and basically they just latch into each other. So these are mounted on the bottom side of your furniture. Usually it's real common in sectionals if you've got a bunch of armless pieces. You know, it could be a number of things, but basically your pieces slide together, and this piece here, and sometimes they have some that rotate. There it goes. They'll rotate, and that'll help you align it. But I get these real close together down there, and then you can, like I said, you can shift it if you need to. I'll reach down there and feel around just a little bit where that female end is at and see if they're close. And then, you know, you can align them as needed. You just push it into each other. You'll hear it snap and lock, and those will stay together. To get them apart, I don't recommend trying to pull them apart. You've got your male end and your female end. You want to lift up on your male end, and it just lifts right up and out, right? These are called interlocking sectional connectors, and these are probably the most basic of them. I'll just show them to you real quick. But you want one of these facing each direction, right? So when you have your 2 pieces side by side, and this is probably one of the ones that I see most commonly has the issue with, is because the manufacturer put them on in the same direction, both of them, so they're not going to lock into place. So basically you have the side that faces up with the male end, and then you have one that faces down. You obviously want to pick up the one that faces down and just slide it directly in to the other one, and it just latches into place, keeps it from coming apart. Usually there's 2 of those per unit. So you would have one here, and then, you know, 24 inches down or whatever it may be, there's one, and both of those lock in at the same time. So those probably have the room for most error. Like I said, sometimes these are installed upside down, or they're just installed in the wrong location and they don't line up quite right. So, but that's that one. And then lastly but not least, I want to look at this one. This is most common on furniture, on the power furniture, the power sectionals, where there's a mechanism involved. And this is what you'll see. There's a variation of this. It could be just a regular bolt that sticks out. It's not a real bolt. It looks a little bit different, but for ease of just showing you how it works, there's a bolt hanging out of one side as the male end, and then on the female end, you've got something that looks like this. So basically what you're gonna do, and this is probably the one I see people have the most trouble with getting it together, or getting it apart for that matter. That's the real difficult part. But basically, if you look at this, it comes down at an angle and then slides down about 1 inch, right? So when you've got your other piece, I'm gonna turn this sideways so you can sort of see it. Your bolt slides down at an angle and then in. So when you're disconnecting them, it's a lot easier if you're using 2 people, somebody on the front and the rear of your recliner, and you would have both people lift directly up. They'll lift up on the unit, and then they'll lift towards the back at an angle. That concludes our video on how to connect and disconnect sectionals. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to comment below. If you Want to see anything in the future, please feel free to let us know any videos that you'd like to see us do in the future. And as always, if you don't mind, feel free to share, like, and subscribe to our page and hit that notification bell for future videos. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.